Hello and welcome to the final round of the EDC Super Group 3 Championship from the Circuit des 24 Heures de Mons. Just the final race of our adventures on GT Sport before everything moves over to GT7. It should be fun. So this was the final race, the starting grid. Just bear with me because I haven't actually got a post ready. So on pole position was me, second was Trebor, third was Winky, fourth was Joe, fifth was Nocelto, sixth was Kimster, seventh BenGolding, eighth Nomis, ninth Hans, 10th Rico, 11th Jiffers, who received a penalty, and 12th was MrSulu. 23 laps. Tyre Wear was 4 times 4 and the fuel wear was times 2. Time of day was 6 to 10 PM. So just bear with me, I just got to do all the necessary editing. And then we'll get to do a lap around this famous circuit in the north of France. As it was the final race, sorry, GT7 releases tonight, and I'm more hyped for that than I am for doing a commentary on GT Sport. But I have to do what I have to do. The 24 Heures de Mons is also known as the Circuit de la Salve, which is what it's known as. A brief history of the track if you want, but it's the second track to have been built. The previous track was actually used for Formula 1 racing, incidentally. Just doing some editing and I'll be right with you. Sorry about this. Like I say, I'm excited for GT7. It's the first numbered game I have played since GT5. So the team and drivers championship were all wrapped up at this point, so it's now just playing for pride. The battle for second place and the battle for the best of the rest was up for grabs. Of course, the continuation of these races will be shown on my channel every Thursday. Take you around a lap in a minute of my favourite track, and it is my favourite track. I could do. I have one mission, and that is to actually go here and watch a race one day. with the advent of the supercars and the hypercars now coming into effect. It's going to be awesome to watch it. So check. Sorry. Just noticed there was an error in the right. Just noticed there was an error in the thing, so if you want to ask you to refresh it, you should have corrected it. Okay, so a lap around this famous circuit. Now that we're finally getting there. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so here we go. So through the first corner right around, which is Dunlop Curve, which comes up to the Dunlop Chicane, was added in the 1970s. Powering now through the S's, peels off to the right is the Bugatti circuit. Up to the top of the top here, and this is Tete Rood, which is a fast right-hander. Brings you down the Mousson Straight. Originally it was went all the way down to its complete end, which was about 6 miles long. Not 6 miles long? No, about a couple of 6 miles long. But it was the longest straight on an FIA track. It was about a mile or so long, I think. For racing to be continued here, it had to be changed. This is Daytona. Originally known as just as Chicane 1, then it became sponsorship. Originally it was PlayStation and Gran Turismo, and then 4 was a motorsport, but now it's known as Daytona after the partnership between IMSA and the ACO. Now this is the second chicane on the Mousson Straight. Still, I think, known as Forza Chicane, or it's just been renamed to Chicane number 2. After that, that's a few peels down and thunder down the last section of the Mousson Straight into Mousson Corner. Slam on the brakes as you come all the way down into Mousson Corner in the village of Mousson. This straight has no name as far as I know. This is the road back towards my mum. Come off this corner and slam on the brakes into Indianapolis. A lot of incidents happen in real life, and now we're at here at Anage, another village. Now on the home stretch back towards back to the track, and also the last section that is public road. Now peeled off to go onto the permanent circuit. This is the Porsche curves, ending on the Porsche's victory. Off that, these things back towards the starting, back to the pit complex, and these are the Ford chicanes, added in the 60s, and in honour of Ford's 3 victories. And across the line, and that is a lap. So let's go for 23 laps around the Circuit de la Sarve, Circuit des 24 Heures de Mont, and let's enjoy ourselves on our final adventures around on this game, and a celebration as I delete it as well. Epic loading times. So here we go. So this is confirmation of the starting grid. As I said, I'm on pole, Trebor second, Winky third, Joe fourth, Nocelto fifth, Gives a sixth, Ben seventh, Nomis in eighth, then Hans, Rico, Kimster, Hans, Rico, Jiffers and MrSulu. Leading away in the R90 CP livery, and we are underway. Power away. Clean away as everyone's now filtering out onto the full chicanes for the first time. Some people get caught out by the rolling stocks, which incidentally will be solved in the next game. Through the Dunlop chicane for the first time as we go through and leading the train as Trebor, the champion, gets a bit wrong on the exit there. Winky then third, spotting a goodbye. Watching his One Last Ride livery. Incidentally, you can watch his cracking video of a tribute to everybody, and through Tex Rouge as Winky does an best impersonation of a Mario Kart. down the Joe in their R390s, 390 GT livery. Not really famous at Le Mans, no. Famous around the GT500 scene, Super GT, as it is now. It should be known as the All Japan GT Championship when the Supra spawned that livery. Obviously with the Cashful livery, which was famous from the Jaguar XJR9 around Daytona. Famous liveries. So through the chicane, second chicane for the first time, everyone's still finding their feet, step streaming, that's a penalty. The two BMWs following each other, there's MrSulu and JosTopps bringing up the rear. So, as I said, then as I promised, I was going to do some Le Mans stories of our time. And we've done this, or that I can remember that we've done this track. And the first time that I remember actually doing racing on here was back on, actually it was on Grid. It was the only game, track on Grid that had a day-night transition, and there was me and a friend and another Wally in the lobby, and anyone who remembers Grid. Joe is under threat from there and the powerful his teammate. Anyway, so so there we're in the lobby, and me and my friend, we're racing away and doing happy races. He's going to get a penalty there. And this guy decides, in his infinite wisdom, he's going to park his car across the straight. Now, Grid wasn't exactly renowned for its accuracy, and the car parking across the straight literally blocks the entirety of the track, and continues to be under threat from Winky in the BMW Z4. So this idiot's parked across the track, and I smashed right into him and wrecks my car. Now, so anyone who's played the original Grid, on-grid race driver, terminal damage, basically, that's it. It's the end of your race. And this paddock basically took me out. We're pressed down the Nissan straight. To Daytona, and Nomis moves up into 6th place. Kipster now has to defend against the GTR. Has now freed the Jag. Yeah, so basically ending my race, and then this tip. I get angry, and he just carries on and wins the race because he's the only one left. So that's story number one. First EDC race I ever did in the at the moment. Winky is passed by Gute into third place, tracking his teammate. He moves on the corner. The first EDC race was on Project Cars, and Project Cars, of course, was renowned for its issues in the early days. One issue in particular was the fact that there was no penalty for cutting the full chicane, and you could take the piss, and that got caught. But the very first race we had, Winky retired from the race, and because of one of the glitches was the flying car glitch, and every time we came down to the pit entry, Winky's car was flying all over the screen. That was quite amusing back in the day. Still as you were at the moment, as we come round to complete lap number 3. I'm still leading, Treble still second. Toto has moved up into third place, Winky up to fourth. Ben just behind there, as in the background there is Jiffers, who's got it all wrong on the exit of the forward chicane. And round he goes. He joins quite a few people who have made that mistake in real life. I think the most famous one I can think to date was when Ford and Aston Martin were having a ding dong for the victory in GTE Pro. One of the Fords decided to push the Aston Martin off. He was not too pleased about that. So I think an Audi also made an exit before it came like that and introduced itself to the wall. So back up the front, as though the speed of the being caught by the champion. Second chicane on the Mouzon straight we go, and zigzagging back down to up the hill and then down the hill towards Mouzon corner. Ben is catching the group of Winky and Gute. Nemesis has managed to get away from his teammate. The hill down to Mouzon corner. yes, stories about Le Mans. Plenty of them. Need to remember. So into an Indianapolis, still lead the race at the moment. But for how long it would seem is the tyre wear of the Nissan starting to show its issues. My first podium was at Le Mans in project cars. It was in the LMP2s in team speed and power. We had a cracking tune on the I can't remember his bloody name. It was one that looked like the Batmobile. I mean, we had a fantastic tune on it. Incidentally got taken out by a back marker at Road America, which ruined the 1-2 finish. So the train is now starting to form behind me. Supra demanded Michelin wheels on his car, so he's got them. Are they Hankook? Can't tell. We'll tell you when he stops. So bringing up the rear in his going rather slowly actually in the Xavi liveried Nissan GTR, so random marshal's head gets in the way of the camera angle. Back up the front, the lead has changed. Trebor now leads the race. His teammate Nocelto in second place. Jumped to third. Ben has also jumped up into fourth. Winky incidentally was quite renowned for his exploits around Le Mans. His knack of just stopping in the in one of the Mulsanne chicanes with his lights either on or off, which was always a fun obstacle to deal with. None of these cars have actually ever turned a wheel at Le Mans. There were rumours of McLaren making a GT version of the 12C, but that never materialised, and Nissan did threaten to bring a GTE version of the GTR, but again nothing ever came from that. Of course, there are rumours that because of the decline originally of GTE cars, not that many in the field, that they might actually allow GT3 cars, so you might see these some of these monsters thunder around them on one day. That's our lead going into the fourth chicane. It's a little bit deep on the first section. It's clean for the second section of it. The one thing I do look forward to, is on GT7 is going to be the day-night transition, because on this game it's fixed weather, and that's going to be, it's going to throw up some very interesting races when we finally get underway on there. It should be a couple of weeks as we find our feet and do a few test races. Incidentally, there will be a test race for the EDC Weekend Cup. Weekend Cup, of course, is a separate entity, and runs a bit differently. It still keeps the same rules. We run things slightly different. So going a bit wide there. So is Numis into Daytona for the 5th time. So if my commentary is not exactly on par with it, or it has been for the last few weeks, it's because I said at the start of the stream, it's GT7 release day. Excited about that than I am commentating on the final race. Looking forward to the thrills and spills of that game. I haven't played a numbered GT game since GT5. And I still think to this day, and I'll be damned if anyone disagrees with me, and I'll question if their logic if they did, that GT4 is still the best GT game. Followed closely by GT2. So Nocelto's now starting to get a bit of a gap now on his teammate. Hopefully in the replay system on GT7 we actually get to see what's happening. As back in the mid pack. I'm just trying to make moves into Indianapolis. Holding firm now, holding station in 3rd place is me, followed by my teammate. And Winky down 6th, waiting to pounce on any mistakes. Supposedly monitored by Kimster in the distance. This has been chased by the BMWs. Not really the track for the BMWs. More suited to the Nurburgring where when this car actually raced. There he is, last week's dominant winner. Going through the Porsche curves, followed by 2nd place man and MrSulu, who was off for 2 weeks. It's his return for his favourite track. He would be quite happy to have 5 races around this track. No one has made any manoeuvres towards the pit lane just yet. He continues to open up a lead on his teammate through the chicane, up over the crest through the S's. really wide I go there. Rejoin and get a penalty for the incident at the top near Tyre. Tyre itself was modified after accident in 2016, which killed a driver as Winky slams on the brakes a bit late there. It was the first fatality at Le Mans for a very long time. Trebor has now been caught by this pack and the McLaren. It would be the McLaren's first return to Le Mans since their last overall victory in 1996. Which incidentally was by a privateer team and not the full works team. I don't think McLaren care. They still declare a victory. Last one was actually by a British manufacturer. Although Bentley did win it with the Speed 8, actually, they were owned by Germans at the time. And essentially the Speed 8 was an R8. Meanwhile, Nocelto has this, he's getting further and further away. Still being chased by Ben, but he's now has Trebor right behind him. On in fourth, but I'm under threat from to the approaching curves. Thundering around in the Peugeot. So what's happened to Jiffers? I think he's actually from next gone into pit lane. So Rico and Nomis are now stopping. Stops. So Winky's now on the back of me, so the battle for fourth. Themselves, they haven't been to Le Mans since the R390. They abandoned their return. They did actually no, they did come back. What am I talking about? They come back with a yeah, I don't think they did come back. GTR LM. Horrible monstrosity that never worked. Yes, the GTR LM. They probably don't want to have that one. Don't want that one to be remembered. But this GTR LM, was a clever piece of technology. A bit more clever than it needed to be. overly complicated. It was plagued with issues. Did have a clever piece of technology though on its wing, with the wing mirror in, or the wing mirror in the mirror in the middle of the car. Well, actually, was a camera that pointed backwards and it gave an image on the camera, on the mirror. Quite clever. But the GTRLM was it never really was successful. It broke down after a couple of laps, and Nissan pulled out a year later, and they haven't been seen since. Cover McLaren's adventures. Toyota, of course, they have been dominant for the last couple of years. Basically, being the only LMP1 was pretty helpful. Did have a good battle with Rebellion before on Rebellion's last year, that they were a active LMP1 team. That was after the changes. They won overall victory in the this year in the hypercar era, and we'll be having more challenges in the this year's event. Peugeot incidentally won't be there. I don't think they're going to be able to do it. They'll be able to get the car ready in time. BMW's adventures. Won their overall victory with the V12 LRM, I think it was. That was the only time, they won after that victory. They never came back, but there are rumours, as I dive into the bits, that they are interested in making a Daytona prototype. So, interesting to see their return back to Le Mans, challenging for a verbal lead. I don't think there's anyone else in any other cars. Jag. You will never see Jag again at Le Mans. Which is a damn shame, if you ask me. Not to see Jag again, but they have no Aston Martins to copy at the moment. Out of the pit lane I come in 10th place. Jiffers just come around the full chicane. I don't think he's going to jump me, but he might get Joe. And off he goes into the distance. Back up at the front, still Nocelto holds on to the lead of the race. He is being chased by the Toyota of Ben. His teammates is in 3rd place into the second chicane. Wide there, followed by Winky in 4th and Kimster in 5th. Looks like Winky went quite distance on his tyres there in the Z4. Braking for Mousson. Closely followed by Kimster. As close as Kimster's been at the slipstream. And up into 4th place goes Kimster. still, followed by Sulu in the background. Obviously Rico after this, down there, out. Just behind is me in the after my stop. Just ahead of Jiffers. It's been followed by Joe in 12th. Hands is being slowly caught by Sulu in the GTR. Through the Porsche curves comes Nocelto, still leading the race. He has led since lap 3. Into the pit lane he comes. Certainly in real life those tyre walls and stuff aren't there. There's a whole host of people coming in. Lots of people diving in. Yes, in real life those blocks aren't there. I don't know why they're here in GT Sport. I don't remember them being there on GT5. Hopefully they're not there on GT7. That would be a bit silly if they're still there. So a lot of people stationary. Nomis will now take the lead of the race. I come through the Ford chicane. Out comes Nocelto. There is Trebor. Just exiting now is Kimpster, Winky, Ben. Come out behind each other. Early stop for Nomis has paid off as he's now in the lead of the race. He's followed by Nocelto after his stop. It's not going to be an easy task. There are Michelin tyres. Here it comes, slipstreaming down, Swiss on straight into chicane number 2. Probably the best opportunity to get past. 11.4 seconds of penalties he has above his head. Okay, down now towards the short corner. Still leads. Yeah, they're starting to develop now. After the stops. With the weather and everything on the on GT7 is going to throw up a lot more bigger gaps as people adjust to the day and night cycle. Into Indianapolis, still Nocelto holding on to second place from last week's winner. dominant performance by this BMW last week. Not so dominant this week, unfortunately, because of all the straights, perhaps. Another very high top end. Continue watching this battle for second between Nocelto and Rico as Nice starts to try to build a gap at the top, going through the curves. And this one doesn't quite have the traction through the portrait curves as the BMW does. Nocelto now has a 7.5 second penalty. Excuse me. Through the full chicane. Starting to get away now from the BMW. This is where the Nissan will start to show its power. This is the battle for sixth. This Kipster holding on ahead of Ben. Winky as well. These three came out at the pits together. Really done not curve up through the done not chicane. Out of the three, the most on the top end is Kipster's Peugeot RCZ. Winky using on the back of this train, he has the best advantage to get ahead. Here comes Rico. I think Winky getting past. Interesting decision there. Ben has managed to slip past Kipster. He's looking to get back ahead through the Daytona chicane. Looking forward to going around Daytona again. Like I said, I'm more excited about GT7 than I am about this game. Looking forward to seeing Daytona again. Got some stories about that one. Project Cars 2. That was where which was renamed the Le Mans chicane in real life. It was where a former member of our racing contingent, Jerry Gell, murdered Sulu by slamming his car in the. What's happened here? Tribor disconnected. There's an epic disconnection there from Tribor. Tribor has left the building. Me up to fourth. Yeah, so when we race at Le Mans at Daytona, we'll be holding the memorial service for Sulu's car as it was murdered on that tragic day 4 years ago. Incidentally, it was a GTR. In case you wonder. As he was rammed into the wall, had engine damage, it went past the red zone which on Project Cars is bad, went past the red zone and exploded before he could get back to the pits. So with the departure of Tribor, he was there fighting for It was just behind this battle for second place. Back to the battle for fifth. The Supra followed by the RCZ, followed by the Z4. As it looks as though the Supra starting to get away. So the Supra is starting to get away. As also the Nocelto in the Nissan GTR starting to get away from the BMW. It's not enough to get some slipstream off Nomis at the front of him. That's a piece of some trivia for you. The Supra did actually race at Le Mans. It raced in 1995. And in 1996 it returned and didn't finish. It finished 14th in its first attempt. So this is a return for the Supra. I don't know if Toyota have any plans to enter a GT variant of the Supra. I do know there is a GT. There is now a Super GT version of it. It replaced the Lexus. In 10th. Just haven't mentioned the two of them. They are still circulating. Here's MrSulu being shadowed by Hans just exiting the Indianapolis. It's just coming out on arch. So it looks as though Nocelto has actually got away from Rico. As long as still leads this race. Coming to complete lap number 12. Rico dives into the pit lane for his second stop. Laps to go of the final race on GT Sport for the EDC. I hope you have enjoyed these 20 races I have covered. I do look forward to bringing in more EDC content in the form of our adventures on GT7 and on the Weekend Cup as well. And if you are interested, of course, in joining, please do leave a comment in the bottom of this, or on this video, and we'll see about getting you in. There we are, fish are clean. If you're a clean driver and you just want to have some fun. Some do take it seriously, and we race every Wednesday. And if you just want to just completely dick about, then that's what we do on Saturday in the Weekend Cup. So Nomis is now being caught by the Nocelto in the GTR. The tyres are starting to go off on the Jag. She stopped on lap 7. So he's been on those tyres for 5 laps. Further back the battle for third as I'm being caught on my teammate, because I've also been on the tyres for a considerable amount of time. GTR, so in the background is Kimster ready to catch up as well. Holding on to this lead into the Portugal it comes. Closely tracked by Nocelto. Ben has now moved up into 3rd place. My tyres continue to fall off. There in 6th, 7th MrSulu, 8th is Hans, 9th now is Rico. After his stop is in 9th place. 10th is Joe, and 11th is Jiffers. As Nomis comes into the pits. Nocelto has collected a large penalty there, 12.2 seconds so far. That's good. Of course, if as I say every race on GT Sport, if you have a penalty, you normally round it off to the nearest. And doesn't go down, it goes up. So as it stands, that will be a 13-second penalty. As Ben has the fastest lap of the race, a 3:56.104. This Kim Series now jumping in the lead down the straight. Daytona, and up to 3rd is Kimster. Closely followed as he has a 30.3 second penalty. Sulu 2.6, as you know, everyone has a penalty. Even hands 3.7. The BMW driver, Psycho Winky's. Almost after his stop, he comes out in 8th place ahead of Rico. Nocelto leads this race. Now 10 laps remaining in the race. Ben is second, third is Kipster, fourth is me, fifth Winky, Sulu, seventh Hands, eighth Nomis after his pit stop, ninth Rico, 10th Joe, and 11th Jiffers. Is Nocelto. See the battles. This is the fight for third. Going to attempt to make a pass there, and to Indianapolis. The kink is quite nasty. Still in fifth. It looks like Sulu's closing in. Sulu is lapping a lot faster than Winky. So just about as much worn tyres as Winky. Doesn't really bother with a BMW livery. Across the line, now 9 laps remaining of this race. The final race of the EDC on GT Sport. The end of a mammoth 20 race championship. It's had its fair shares of ups and downs, crashes and incidences and victories, but it has been fun to commentate on these races, and I look forward to carrying on this commentary on GT7. Of course, my other content will not be stopping. Starting to get back into the swing of doing my Star Trek stuff. Because ships will still be on Friday. The potatoes still need to be served as chips. The Supra, which has been a car of questionable content, has really dominated, as it was expected to. It's definitely the GTR of Gute that's dominating so far. Corner, still leading. Just getting a lot closer, and also Sulu's getting a lot closer to Winky, now in slipstream. If it doesn't get him here, here should get down to the approach towards Indianapolis. Here it comes. Pulling out now. Side by side. And gets a move done. Now to approaching down towards Indianapolis now. Winky won't have to step back. Slamming on the brakes into Indianapolis. Quick straight down towards Narge. A little bit screwy action on the exit there from the GTR. So holding on to that. Me, him and Winky have the battle for the rest of the best of the rest. You're a lot of points, a chunk of points away from the rest of the field. That's now crossing the line, still leading is Nocelto. Ben is now under threat from Kempster. Chasing down Hands for 7th place. Joe's also picked up a sizable penalty. He's still ahead of Jiffers. She's coming through the approaching curves. Sulu and Winky continue their fight for 5th place. Stands, Sulu would still hold on to it, having the lesser of a penalty over Winky. Just giving Sulu a bump down the Lucerne straight through Daytona. Closer to me. So he's trying to get rid of the penalty that he has. A lot of dents on the rear of his car. That's probably from where people have been pushing him down the straight, just like Winky was doing there with Sulu over the crest of the hill. That's how close it is between the three of us. Gets a bit late. Breaking into Musan corner there was Sulu. That's going to lose a bit of time to me, but still stays out in front of Winky. Thomas has now caught up with Hands. This is the fight for 7th. Jaguar makes a light meal of the BMW. So it just shows how close the race actually is. I mean, not that although it looks sizable distance between everybody, it's still quite close. Gute still leads, of course. Second is Ben, and third is Kimpton to the top three at the moment. Holding on to my top 5 position. Last to be in the top 5 as I come. McLaren up to 4th. And after his stop is up to 6th place. Joe, GP-Strecke he is. On to SuperSofts. That should be my last stop as well. Also coming in. Jaguar started on SuperSofts. He was the only one who did start on them. So, Gute still holds on to the lead as Ben still ahead of Kimpster. So is holding on to 4th ahead of Winky in 5th. Numbers of course has stopped and is now funneling around in 6th place at the moment. 7th and 8th for the Cycle Winky BMWs. And Rico respectively. Close to the end of the race now. He's of course trying to get rid of his penalty, I would imagine. That should be everyone's last stop as well. Everyone needs to go on to their option tyres. Of course, in the EDC we have to use 2 sets of tyres. Unlimited usages of the hard and the medium compound tyres, but I can only use the SuperSofts for 1 stint. I believe that is going to carry over to GT7. I don't actually know if it will. I think racing tyres are much more prudent, but we'll have to see how the Tyre Wear is on the sports compound tyre. They weren't very good on GT Sport. As soon as the pits comes, they cleads over on the lead of the race. Ben is also coming in, as is Kimpster. Imagine the trio, everyone who stopped will be stopping at the same time again. So he's using this chance to get rid of his penalty. Into the pits he comes, followed by Winky. This should restore Normus to the lead of the race. Goes over the full chicane. Don't think they'll be under threat from. Where is Rico. Hands has also come in. I don't think they're going to threat from me. There is Nocelto. He exits in second place ahead of Rico. Nocleto's now on his super soft tyres. There's Ben. He comes out with Chipster just behind. There is me. There's Sulu and Winky. Just got Sulu and just up the hill there up towards the Dunlop chicane. There he is. There's Winky. Now I am just coming over the crest through the S's. So the fight for sixth is on. Rico and Nomis still to stop to take on their option tyres. Obviously going to have to get a big enough lead over Nocelto to win this. It's a very long stop here at Le Mans. There'll have to be some epic driving from the R&B Racing's driver. There's Ben. He came out ahead of JosTopps. There I am. There is Sulu. See how close the gap is, so the fight is on. From epic last lap action. Joe, of course, he's made his final stop as well. He's come out ahead of JIFFers in the 11th. Rounds out the top 10. So Rico was quite close to Nocelto a couple of laps back, and nearly had him, but the BMW's lack of power wasn't really helpful to get ahead of the Nissan. Sorry, just looking at my watch and seeing how close we are to GT7's launch. So I won't be streaming GT7. Not that important. So, coming up into the Porsche curves. Is Nomis still leading the race? We had an accident there, but it's just the way the cars look on the map. So Nissan versus BMW, that's the fight for 6th. And is just pulling around it now at the moment, as it looks as though we have lost Joe. What happened to Joe? No. Oh, he was going down the straight and then he was not. So Joe disconnects from the race. Now second. Retirement from the race. He officially will finish in 11th place. Nomis still leads. Going up now to 5 laps are now remaining of this race. Comes now 5 laps left of our final race here on GT Sport. Yeah, I could say it's been fun, but that would have been turning the light. So 12 starters, 10 finishers. So I've got a real Le Mans race with him, Matt. Rico's getting rid of his penalty. Interesting strategy with 5 laps to go. Ben ahead of him only has half, 200 for second, 200 second penalty. That's quite easy to get rid of. But now he has no penalty. He can, of course, fight, but he does have to go into the pit lane to put on a set of super softs or mediums. On battle for Supra is heating up as the MrSulu is getting closer. Penalty situation between us is I have a 2.2 second penalty, which will round off to 3 seconds. Sulu has a 4.6 second penalty, that will round off to 5 seconds. And Winky has 13 seconds. So he'll hope to keep the gap ahead of him from Hans, his teammate. Hans, of course, his penalty will run up to 2 seconds, so he has to finish 11 seconds ahead Winky to not lose a position. Jiffers coming across the line spring, start his 18th lap. Norman still leads. Alright, boy, Nocelto, and then there's Ben. But Normus has stopped. Normus does have to stop again. He's going to have to hope for a quick pit stop from his team to have a chance to. There's a bit of a chunk of change back to his teammate Kimster, who's just come in. He'll be the next person down on track that would threaten chances on the podium. For a win, he'll have to really push it. He's just coming into Menage. That's not going to coming into Indianapolis, exiting Menage. So. That's a 13-second penalty. That's going into the hands of Ben. So it's all calculations and maths and everything is starting to kick into this, the final race. Oh, goodness. This is, of course, the fight for second overall. Ben still has a 7-point lead over Rico. He has a 4-point lead. As it stands, Ben will finish second in the championship. And Nomis has now come into the pits for his final stop. This now gives Nocelto the lead of the race, 4 laps remaining. Rico is also stopping, so he will have to fend off me, Sulu and Winky, but it doesn't look like he's managed to cut us off, so I shall move up into 4th. So this now means this is now the battle for 4th between the 3 of us. Where Nomis come out, Nomis comes out of the pit, he's just ahead of me, I think. No, he has come out behind. Come out ahead of Sulu, put Sulu off there on the Dunlop chicane. And Nomis now has to fend his way through the midfield to catch up with Kimster. There's the next car down the track. and is currently holding third place. After slip comes the Jag. Some slip down into Daytona. Give some help. Keep ahead with Sulu. So Rico's stop is now on his final, on his option tyres. Next to the 9th place. Jiffers brings up the rear. So now it'll be who will win this race. Who will finish in the podium places, and who will take up the last position in the top 5. This is all kicking off now. 4 laps remaining in the race. Kimster, he has a 4.4 second penalty. He's currently in third places. Chased by his team. He's just coming through Indianapolis. Of course, he came in for his tyres on lap 15. Holmes is now on his out lap, so he's on fresh Super Softs. Stops also on lap 15. So it's going to be interesting. Finishes. It would be a EDC race without some interest. That's the way we like it. Toto made a fantastic choice to switch over to the GTR. His first struggles he had in the I think it was the BMW. I think he was in. I can't remember which one he actually was in the first half of the championship. Struggling. He made the switch over to the GTR and he hasn't looked back since. But of course, a massive accumulated penalty is not going to be helpful to take the last win. Especially when you have a very powerful Supra chasing you down. So though Nomis has shaken off my attempts to keep up with him, he's now disappearing off into the distance, trying to chase down his teammate. So we have 3 laps remaining now of the final race. So it's desperately trying to get rid of that penalty. The more he slows down though, the more closer that Nissan gets, that Supra gets. Incidentally, the only position still pretty much decided is everything below 8th. Winky still has a massive penalty, so he could lose that position. It looks as though he's not on the tail end of Sulu. Nocelto continues to try to get rid of that penalty, but again, every time he starts to ease off the throttle, Ben is still travelling at full speed, so that's bringing Ben closer and closer. He's desperately trying to get rid of the penalty. He's coming through Mousson now. There's Ben. Keeps her in the background. Where is Nomis? There's Nomis there. So Kips has just disappeared out of view. There's Nomis. He's hunting down the podium spot. He's the only one at the front of the top 5 that is on the freshest set of Super Softs. He's got past me. Yeah, he's hunted down his teammate. He's Kips up. Trying to go out with a bang on GT Sport with a podium position. Has done quite well with the Peugeot throughout this championship. He's used it. It has been an underdog car. Incidentally, its Group 4 variant is pretty good too. You might be seeing it again. So again, Nocelto is still trying to get rid of that penalty. They're getting closer and closer. And Nomis is chasing down his teammates. So we're coming up now to start the 21st and 2 laps to remaining of this race. Nocelto still leads. There's Ben, second place. There's a little bit wrong on the exit of a little bit squared on the exit of the Ford chicane. Borrowed a bit too much of the sausage curve there and nearly cost him. Cares about the penalty he's got. Just wants to finish the race. No, 2 laps remaining. Still, Nocelto leads with a 9.5 second penalty lingering over his head. Doesn't want to pick up any more penalties now between now and the end of this race. 2 laps left. Ben only has 100,000th of a second to get rid of. Which still, even though it's only 100th second, it will still go rounded off to 1 second. Again, Gute just that penalty. Kips still on to 3rd place. Nomis is bearing him. He's closing him down. Come out the exit of the Daytona chicane. So 2 R&B racing members trying to chase down each other. Ben from Team Pink trying to chase down Nocelto to try to deny him the final victory of our time on GT Sport. Through the 2nd chicane, still leading. Other battle that's on track at the moment is the fight for 5th. I will of course have a 3-second penalty. MrSulu has a 3-second penalty. MrSulu is lapping faster, a lot faster, and he's closing down. He's closing me down. Up another chunk of penalty, still being chased down by Nomis. It's the battle for 8th now. Look back, it's the fight for 8th between 2 Psycho, Winky and team members, Hand and Rico. 9 seconds, but still Ben is there, getting closer. It's as though Nomis is also closing down his teammate, and he has done so, and because he uses that chance to get rid of some of his penalties, and Nomis now moves up into 3rd place. Does have a bit of a gap back to me. He has a 4-second penalty. So Nomis now up into 3rd. He's now going to start trying to. He's now going to go on the 2-lap pursuit of Ben and Nocelto. At the battle for 1st. Now onto the penultimate lap of the race. Still leading Nocelto, as he has done for most of this race. Nomis is in 3rd now. He now also holds the fastest lap of the race, a 3:55.8. Fight for 5th. It's me and Sulu. Closest the two of us have been so far. I'll try desperately to hold on to that. Don't want to pick up any more penalties either. Winky with his big chunk of penalty, as it looks as though Rico's got fast hands. Side by side at one point, still happened. It was just down just before Indianapolis, so just getting rid of the penalties, it looks like. And that was how Rico got in front of his teammates to move up into 8th place. His other teammate is a couple of seconds down the road, but does have a 13-second penalty. So if I pause the race, because it doesn't show us, we can actually the live timing and see the gap back between Winky and his teammates. So at the moment, the gap between Winky and Rico is 20 seconds. So just below 1 second between me and Sulu. 3 seconds down the road is Kimster, who's holding on to 4th place. So 1 second between Nocelto and Ben, and just 8 seconds back is Nomis. So doesn't want to lose this race on penalties, but looks like as though he's letting Ben get closer and closer. Hello, Jiffers. So, I'm at the end of the race. Is also trying to get rid of his penalty. That's now put him into the clutches of me. Everyone's desperately trying to get rid of their penalties. So there is Nomis. It's Ben. We've got rid of his penalty, so he has no penalties remaining. So it will just be Nomis has a 3-second penalty. Big gap back to his teammate. Sulu makes the move on me to move into 5th place. So the head is Kimster, who's picked up a 2. put his penalty down to 1.8. He's picked up another 3-second penalty. It's the fight for fourth now, as Kim's got back into the firing range of two Nissan GTRs. And Ben's taken the lead. Where did Ben take the lead? Was this Nocelto just getting rid of his penalty and gifting it to him? Nocelto letting off the accelerator, and here comes Ben, and Ben takes the lead. There is Nomis. So Ben takes the lead of the race on the penultimate lap. No penalty for him at the moment, so he now leads. It's the first time he's actually led the race. I'm sure he doesn't want Toyota's normal curse, which is breaking down on the last lap. Taurus for that. 2018. So through the fortune curves comes Ben. Basically gifted the lead because Gute had no real choice. Ben was going to take the lead anyway. With the penalty he had accumulated, but now he's going to have to defend from Nomis. For fourth, penalty trio. Into the full chicane. On to the final lap of the race. Ben now leading. Tyres on the Nocelto's GTR starting to fall off. Coming through the S's is Nomis. Now for Tetrud you can now see the tail lights. See the tail lights of the GTR distinguish the easily to notice for rear lights of the GTR. Through Daytona. Ahead. That's a for fourth. He's now gone away. He's holding on to that fourth place. Sulu continue to fight. Sulu's now picked up a mammoth penalty from somewhere. So this is Sulu coming through the S's. So he gets a bit wrong on the exit of the S's. The Church Rouge has to rejoin the track there. Come side by side with me. Chuck out Church Rouge, and the game's going to slap him with a massive penalty. Let's see that again. Did I let him get back on the track? Did I push him wide? the game gave him a 2.5 second penalty for the exit on the thing. They gave me one earlier in the race. So as you can really do there on Tex Rouge, because I can't really let off that compromise me down the straight. So it's interesting. That one's going to have to be reviewed, I think. Last review of the GT-Strecke. So through the second chicane comes Ben. So he's going to take another victory. Who will finish in second? There is. So Kletter has a 5-second penalty. Nomis has a 3-second penalty, so it's a 2-second advantage for Nomis. Now has a 4-second penalty. Sulu has a 7-second penalty. I have a 3-second penalty. Winky has a 13-second penalty. Starts his final lap of the race. Joe and Trebor. So around Indianapolis for the final time, up through an arch. Comes Ben, closely followed by Nocelto, who is desperately trying to get rid of this penalty he had. He's been trying to get rid of it for the last couple of laps. Could cost him second. It's already cost him the lead of the race, and the race went. So it's as harsh the penalties as they are. So through the Porsche curves for the final time comes Ben. Past the go-kart track. Up towards the full chicane one more time. One last time on GT Sport, and our final race winner and runner-up in the Drivers' Championship through the full chicane, and across the line he comes. And race winner is Ben. And Nomis will finish second. A little bit of trying to get rid of his penalty. I mug him. I mug him for fourth. Gute finishes fifth, Sulu sixth. Across the line comes Winky in seventh. He's trying to get rid of his penalty. It's not going down. So across the line will come Rico. He should move it to seventh. Winky drops to eighth. I think he has enough of a gap back to Hands to hold on to 8th place, and he does. So across the line in 9th comes Hands. Just bringing up the rear now is Jiffers coming through Indianapolis. So congratulations to Ben, Nomis and Nocelto for a fantastic last lap. Unfortunate for Nocelto, who was leading the race, had to get rid of his penalty and then gets punished. I think the game glitched with the disconnections. That meant that people couldn't get rid of their penalties on the last lap. So that's why Kim's lost fourth. Winky drops down to 8th after a good race. He should have had 7th place, but it is what it is, unfortunately. Immediately behind the glitched field GT Sport. Move on to GT7. It's through the full chicane for one more time comes the glitching car there, and across the line in 10th place comes Jiffers, and that is the end of GT Sports, the end of our time on GT Sport, and the end of GT Sport on my PlayStation 4. Thank you very much for watching. Join us again for our first race on GT7. We won't know what that will be. We'll probably do a preliminary race which will determine where people are for teams, and also do a test as well. So that probably cover that, and that will determine where people are in terms of their teams. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you see you soon for the next adventures of the EDC under Big B82. Please subscribe, comments are welcome, and appreciate any thumbs up as well, and I will see you soon. Ciao for now.